everything you think you know about Santa Claus is probably a lie. We all know this guy. Cheerful, loves cookies, lives at the North Pole. But this popular image? It's a modern invention. A corporate fairy tale. So I started digging. The real story is far more shocking. Our journey doesn't start at the North Pole. It starts here. The Roman Empire, 3rd century. In a city called Myra.
He wasn't a toy maker. He was a bishop, fierce and unyielding.
He was persecuted for his faith, tortured by the Roman emperor. But his most famous moment wasn't delivering presents. It was a fight. At the Council of Nicaea, he punched a heretic in the face. Meet the fighter Saint Nicholas. Next, his dark story, shocking miracles, and link to pawn shops. So, these 3 gold balls, they're not just a Christmas decoration, you know? You probably think you know the sweet story of Nicholas saving 3 poor daughters. They were about to be sold into prostitution.
Not a holiday special. To save them, Nicholas knew he had to act in secret, under darkness.
Each purse was a dowry, saving a daughter from a life of exploitation. And those 3 golden balls became the international symbol. For pawn shops, it's true. But that miracle is tame. The next story is where his legend gets truly horrifying. Medieval legend tells of an evil innkeeper who preyed on lost travelers.
He captured 3 travelers and trapped them in a large wooden cask.
He rushes to the shop.
He confronted the murderer and demanded to see what was inside the barrel.
Making the sign of the cross, he prayed, and a miracle began.
The 3 children were resurrected, completely unharmed. This is his most famous miracle, the protector of children, born from horror. But these roots go even deeper, into paganism. After the dark miracles, the story of Saint Nicholas traveled north. But what if Santa's most famous traits aren't his at all? I found this hard to believe, so I dug into the old beliefs. The trail led to the Norse god, Odin, the All-Father. Odin led a ghostly procession across the winter sky called the Wild Hunt. He would soar through the night, rewarding the good and punishing the wicked. The similarities were just too striking to ignore. It was all there. Even the tradition of leaving out treats had a pagan parallel. It was for Odin's 8-legged flying horse, Sleipnir. As Christianity spread, the 2 figures began to merge. Watch closely.
Odin's fierce wanderer's cloak slowly turns a familiar, jolly red.
His spear of judgment transforms into a sack overflowing with toys.
And Sleipnir's 8 legs divide, becoming 8 loyal reindeer.
The pagan god of winter was reborn as a Christian saint.
But what if the flying reindeer have an even stranger, psychedelic secret?
We've seen Odin's magic. But what if the reindeer's flight wasn't magic at all?
You probably think you know why Santa's reindeer fly. You're almost certainly wrong. Most people imagine magic corn, or maybe just Christmas spirit. It's a nice thought. But the real answer is far stranger, and much more scientific. Our investigation takes us to the frozen north, to the shamans of ancient Siberia. They had a ritual involving this, the Amanita muscaria mushroom. This mushroom is highly toxic and psychoactive. Humans can't safely eat it directly. But someone else can. The local reindeer absolutely love them.
Now, here's where it gets truly bizarre. The reindeer's body filters the toxins.
The shamans discovered that the reindeer's urine retained the hallucinogenic properties, but was safe. So, during winter solstice rituals, the shamans would drink it. This induced powerful hallucinations, including the distinct sensation of flying.
A spiritual journey, soaring through the sky with their spirit animals, the reindeer.
Suddenly, the story's elements click into place. Flying reindeer.
The shaman's ceremonial colors? Red and white, like the sacred mushroom.
And how did they visit homes? Through the chimney, of course. It was the only way in. The shaman would bring his bag of mushrooms. A psychedelic shaman became our jolly Saint Nick. A truly mind-bending origin story.
This strange truth was sanitized. But some of Santa's companions were far too terrifying to tame.
So, psychedelic reindeer were just the beginning of Santa's bizarre history. You probably think Santa worked alone. For centuries, you'd be terrifyingly wrong. In alpine regions, St. Nicholas had a partner, the demonic beast, Krampus. His job wasn't delivering gifts. It was punishing naughty children with birch branches. And for the really bad kids, he'd stuff them into his sack. But Krampus wasn't the only one. Meet France's Père Fouettard, the whipping father.
His origin story is shrouded in darkness. He was a wicked innkeeper who made 3 young travelers vanish without a trace.
St. Nicholas resurrected them and forced the butcher to serve him as penance. This was the original system: reward and punishment. A Santa based on fear. So how did this terrifying enforcer become the jolly, gentle man we know today?
Last time, Santa had terrifying friends. But how did he become the jolly figure we know?
You probably think Santa always looked like that. But what if everything you believe is wrong? I spent months digging into this. Prepare for Santa's shocking American makeover in 19th century New York. Our investigation begins in 1823 with Clement Clarke Moore's famous poem, "Was the Night Before Christmas." Moore described Santa as a tiny elf. Why? To solve a very practical problem. A tiny elf could actually fit down a chimney. This was a physical design choice. But Santa was about to get a dramatic, adult-sized upgrade, thanks to Thomas Nast. Nast, a cartoonist, transformed Santa into a powerful political weapon during the US Civil War. He depicted Santa as a staunch Union supporter, a symbol of hope for Northern troops. Nast even showed Santa holding a puppet of the Confederate president, Jefferson Davis, in a noose. Nast wasn't just political. He gave Santa his iconic North Pole workshop and human physique. The tiny elf was gone, replaced by the human-sized, jolly Santa we recognize today. Nast truly cemented Santa as an American icon, far from his European roots. This makeover was significant. But wait, did Coca-Cola invent Santa's red suit? Many believe it. Next, we debunk that myth and reveal Santa's final modern additions. So, the biggest modern myth? Coca-Cola invented Santa's red suit, right? You're probably wrong. I spent months digging into this widely accepted belief. Let's uncover the surprising truth together. Before Coke's famous ads, Santa was already appearing in red. Look at these earlier depictions. Coke's artist, Haddon Sundblom, didn't invent the suit. He standardized and humanized the image. He gave Santa a consistent, warm, and jolly look that resonated globally. A powerful marketing achievement. Just when you thought our Santa was complete, one more character joined the legend. Rudolph, the red-nosed reindeer, was a 1939 marketing creation by a department store. From a single story, a whole team of characters emerged to deliver Christmas joy. Now, let's witness the incredible journey, from a Turkish bishop to a global icon. Watch closely as Santa's identity twists and turns through centuries of myth-making. Every era, every culture, adding a new layer to the legend we know today. This incredible journey shows how myths evolve. What other stories do we need to deconstruct? Tell us in the comments.